lost you.
Big bold letters.
Yeah, I don't know who they're up that hard.
It's really see it.
There you go. 7 o'clock.
Okay, I'm gonna call to order the meeting, the regular meeting of the Town of Ixonia for the month of July. Roll call, please.
Tom Carey,
Here.
Brian Durkee.
Here.
Dave Kester is walking through the door. Dan Rupnow,
Here.
Rick Ziegler.
Here.
Would you please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, approval of the minutes for May 7th, 2026, and June 8th of 2026.
And May 11th is on there too.
Oh, and the 11th, oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's all right.
I make a motion to approve it?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signal by aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? The minutes are approved. Any public comment, Joanne?
Oh, gosh, I didn't even get up there, sorry. Mr. Marabi, did you want to speak?
Sure. In regard to my,
Sure, but you were on the last meeting, I believe.
yeah,
He had
asked
two,
me to come
remember?
today.
Okay.
This was for the split.
I thought we did that last month.
No. Because we had to split it at the plan commission.
Well, then that was my mistake. I don't think I added it to this agenda.
That's where I saw it.
Yeah, and I missed it, so it's my fault. I apologize.
So what should I do?
It'll have to come to the next meeting.
Okay. It'll
Sorry.
be the fourth one. All right,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
that's good. All right, I'll be back then. When is it?
We don't know it.
We don't know because that's the day before the election, so they're gonna set a new meeting for the month of August tonight.
I can reach out to him.
Okay.
Just watch the
I'll
website
contact you.
Great, thank you.
and you'll be able to see it.
Okay,
Oh, Amanda Ewert, are you gonna speak?
I only have one copy of this because I have a small printer. Okay, Amanda Ewert and 84 Swanton Drive. Can everybody hear me?
I don't think it's on, Amanda.
there it
Very
is.
top, isn't it?
Hello? Can you hear me now?
Little switch on the top.
I think
It's on.
It
Is it
just
on?
gets get closer.
Hello?
Oh, it's good, it's gonna get.
Okay, I am speaking tonight as a Park and Rec volunteer and as someone who has contributed significant time to the Fireman's Park Playground fundraising effort. I'm asking the town board to review how volunteers are supported, how governance questions are handled, and whether volunteers can raise legitimate concerns about public fundraising and committee structure without those concerns being redirected toward their character or communication style. Over several months, I repeatedly asked questions about the playground committee, IVF physical sponsorship, fundraising structure, committee authority, and transparency. These were governance questions connected to a public project. They were not personal attacks. One significant concern involved the beer garden fundraiser. The event was moved away from the Playground Committee, and the opportunity to utilize our newly established 501c3 nonprofit fundraising structure without notice to the committee. I sent an email to Andrew copying the Playground Committee members asking for clarification about that decision and its potential impact on our nonprofit partnership. That email was an internal committee communication. It was not sent to Exonia Bank, Roofinity, 3 Barn Media, or any other outside sponsor or vendor. Despite that, Michelle from Exonia Bank sent an email the next day and wrote that it has come to our attention that there is concern regarding Exonia Bank working with Roofinity rather than the IVFA. My email sent to Andrew expressed no such concern. My questions were about governance, fundraising structure, and transparency. I respectfully requested that the board review how an internal committee communication came to be conveyed to outside parties in a manner that did not accurately reflect its contents. When my questions were not resolved through emails and other attempts to obtain clarification and corrections to that false narrative, I requested a private meeting with Joanne and Ben and provided written documentation so the facts could be reviewed. No resolution was reached. The following park recreation meeting last week was my first opportunity to address Andrew directly in person. During the appropriate agenda item discussion, I again asked the same governance questions that had gone unanswered. What is the current status of the Playground Committee now that he has stepped away from the leadership role to which he had been appointed? Who is responsible for the committee, and should it now be considered inactive or disbanded? Rather than answering those questions, certain individuals redirected the discussion toward my communication, describing my emails as aggressive and referring to my bad energy. The governance questions themselves remained unanswered. To this day, there has been no clear explanation regarding the committee's status or leadership, despite repeated requests for clarification. I respectfully request that the board review not only how that meeting was handled, but also why legitimate governance questions about a town-appointed volunteer committee were never addressed, and why its appointed leader stepped away without any formal communication to the town board itself or direction to the volunteers serving on that committee. My concern now extends beyond my own experience. Volunteers should be able to ask direct questions about public fundraising, committee authority, and governance without being treated as though asking the question is the problem. Public employees and representatives should be held to a higher standard of professionalism, especially when working with residents who volunteer their time. I respectfully ask the board to review the documentation included in this packet, evaluate the events against the actual communications rather than characterizations of my intentions, clarify the current status of the Playground Committee, and consider adopting clear expectations for communication and accountability between town staff and volunteer committees. Legitimate governance questions deserve substantive answers, not personal criticism. My goal is simple: accountability, transparency, and a higher process for future volunteers. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other?
Yes, I meant, Ken,
Sorry, I was just signing in.
you're just signing in, okay.
Oh.
Nick Wiesenborn,
Nick Weisenborn, N8340 Swansea Drive. I'm here with the Exonia Volunteer Firemen Association, just here for your consideration on the Town and Country Days agenda items, and just here for any questions if you have any. So that's it.
Thank you.
and I have Brian and Lacey Gilman. Are you gonna do public comment, or are you just gonna wait?
No, we'll wait.
Okay. Heather Harris.
Heather Harris, N8251 Pritchard Farm Road. I was here, I wanted to just bring up some public comments and related to item number under new business letter I, the impact fee study. I'm asking the board to consider approving the cost study to review our impact fees for fire, park and rec, and the Department of Public Works. Just a reminder, this is something that we did talk about as part of our comprehensive plan, that a thorough cost study should be done and that the town reviews those on a regular basis. Currently today, we do collect an impact fee for Park and Rec, that in my opinion is minimal. And we do not currently collect anything for fire and DPW to my knowledge. I do believe that new growth should pay for new growth. The wastewater treatment plant expansion opened the door to more of this building. The county's projecting that we're going to grow over 25% over the next 20 years. So every new house that gets built puts more load on our fire departments, on our public works, and on our parks. And if our fee structure doesn't reflect those growths, the bill lands on the people that are already living here. Our taxes are gonna continue to go up to be able to support those. Of course, the people that move in will still pay those as well, but they can add a little bit extra towards their load. Basically, this is, the study, even if you do the study, that doesn't mean you're committing to an increase. I think it's going to give us the most data and the most knowledge to know what is right, and where we might stand. So I think that is something that should definitely be considered, that we're not going off of old numbers and old assumptions that even I myself am making. And in my opinion, this is something that should have been considered and done probably when we were doing the wastewater treatment plant as a future thought process. And to my knowledge, that wasn't done. And this is just something that, again, it's going to help those in the future. All of those departments have use for those funds in a capital structure, that they could use within the state statutes and whatever that needs to be done to spend those dollars, which I know we've struggled with in the past, but I do think that's going to be what's best for our community. Thank you.
That's all I have.
Okay. Treasurer's financial report for June of 2026.
I kind of went over this with Joanna earlier in the day, and we had several questions that got answered. I make a motion to accept the report as it is presented to us.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion on the treasurer's report? Hearing none, all those in favor signal by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries, subject to audit. Jefferson County Sheriff's Department.
Hello everyone, I'm Deputy Jeremiah Police with the Sheriff's Office. Anyone have anything for me, questions, concerns, anything for the sheriff I can bring back to his table? I have nothing for you guys. Everything's looking good as far as I am aware. So one thing is they want us to relay the Jefferson County app, if you haven't heard of that. It's on iOS and Apple, so iOS and Android. There's updates from the sheriff on there. There's stuff about, some warrants and just general overall information about the county as a whole. And that's just, you access Jefferson County on your app store.
And what's it called?
Jefferson County Sheriff's Office, I believe.
Okay.
It looks like it's a little gold star with
Okay.
with that blue in the middle. So
Okay, got it, thank you.
yes, sir.
Question, we're seeing a lot more on social media from various communities about events that are going on related to traffic, is this something new that's changed? I mean, it's really blown up in the last month or two.
As far as like notifications, I'm sorry, can you elaborate?
Yeah, no, I mean, anytime there's a police action or anything like that, an accident, an event, we're seeing a lot more postings on various social medias.
Yeah, so, I mean, with that, we don't use encrypted radios, right? So any one of you can tune into our radios at any time and listen to our communication. Someone is just doing that and they're typing up on a Facebook.
Yeah,
thing,
I think these are actually communities that have their own pages, that have their own sites.
Okay.
I see Watertown in there a lot, Oconomowoc, I mean, all over the country, but
Okay.
I just didn't know if there was something recent where they're trying to do more PR work for what you guys are out there doing, or?
I know we have our general sheriff's office, Facebook page.
Yeah.
As far as anything in addition to that, I'm not aware of anything.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Could you refresh my memory? Is there a speed limit governance on ATVs, UTVs, as opposed to just the posted limit?
That's a great question. I don't have the answer to that. I will confer with the DNR for that. They're more in tune with the laws of ATV, UTV, and I know that their state of Wisconsin is adjusting some of their ordinances for ATVs and UTVs because they've been gaining so much popularity. So I will reach out to that. Are you looking for any road in particular?
Well, the road I live on is a racetrack.
Okay.
So they test their speed to the max, I know that much. But I guess it's a practice road.
As far as I'm aware, obviously, I can't go past the normal speed limit, right? I know a lot of ATVs, UTVs, they don't make it that they can, reach those, mile per hour. I've heard the opposite where, individuals are getting upset that these ATVs, UTVs are impeding traffic. And, and there I just ask that you respectfully pull over and let the traffic pass. But, as to answer your question, is there a posted speed limit for ATV and UTV specifically? I would say no as of right now, and if I will check into that, I will get back to you.
I thought I remember when this became popular and allowed on the roads that 45 was the number, but I was just trying to clarify and understand what is the truth.
And I will get back to you on that for sure. For certain, you're right, you can't exceed the normal posted speed limit for sure, right? But I will get back to you on that, sir.
Thank you.
I believe 35 is the state statutory.
Minimum?
Maximum.
Maximum?
Yeah.
They can go, they stay under 35 or 35 is maximum?
Max.
35.
Well, that gets violated every day.
Some of the signage in town stipulates 35.
It's way over 35 where I'm at.
Yeah.
Way over, I know that.
And if that's something that you would like to address too, we can do extra control on there, monitor.
It would be something, sure.
I'll leave you my business card and then you can reach out to me after the meeting if that works for you, sir.
Say it again?
I can give you my business card, you can reach out
Sure.
to me after the meeting.
Absolutely.
I've had a few people reach out to me about the flock cameras that are on Highway 16. Is that a Jeffco Sheriff's Department thing or a state thing?
If they're on Highway 16, that's Jefferson County, as far as I'm aware. We do share flock cameras with everyone in the state. So as far as Highway 16, I would assume that's county property.
Yeah, and is it just for like traffic violations? Do you give tickets from what's showing up there, or safety, or like how do I answer people that are concerned about it?
So how we use flock cameras is if we have an incident that, we're looking for a certain vehicle for, I'm just gonna use an example. Let's just say, something more severe like a rolling domestic, for example. We have a general location of where they're at. We have to type in, and this is monitored by the state, we have to type in incident number, reason for search, and then the license plate, and then if the vehicle passes a flock camera, we'll be notified of it. We don't do any citations or anything like that, and the only time we would monitor would be looking for like an individual vehicle.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. Anybody else? Any questions?
You guys are liable for Highway 16 here in Jefferson County. Then when you get to Dodge County, then Dodge County's liable for 16, correct? Is that how it works? Being it's a state highway.
Yeah, so Highway
So
6
then if we go this way, then Waukesha County's liable for 16 that way. Goes by counties, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Being it's a state highway.
All right. Thank you.
Well, thank you for attending.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks.
Supervisor Bruce.
I only have one item to talk about tonight, but it's gonna maybe be a little lengthy. At our last two EMS work group meetings, which one was in later June and we just had one this past week. After 12 months of going back and forth, trying to figure out what we're gonna do, what kind of formulas and all of this, in the June meeting, we settled on that we were gonna ask the county to take to finance committee, that we would like to go with the 0.1 mill rate for our EMS levy, which we had three to choose from: 0.1, 0.25, and 0.5. And that finance committee has decided that they don't wanna see us go with the .1, because that would be a pretty good chunk of money, coming in. So they settled on the .25 that we're gonna look at right now until some other time that somebody, nothing's set in stone yet, until somebody decides maybe we need to go differently. And that, so that .25 mill rate would come to that everybody on their tax bill would see $100, on a $400,000 home, would see $100 go to the EMS services in Jefferson County. So then on this following week, we settled on a distribution of that .25. That .25 will generate $3,141,467.50 for the county. So for the weights, we have this program that they came up with for us from the university. The distribution formula is gonna be 50% on population, 33% on call density, and property value is 16.7. And that, so with that, Exonia's share at the .25 mill rate would come to $177,874.28. That is including Concord, the townships of Concord and Watertown that we cover. So that money, if this all goes through, and now we have to work on the scenario as to how we're gonna distribute this money and everything, is only supposed to be used for increasing the number of EMTs, EMTAs or paramedics in the community or in the department. And that, so from there you will have to decide on how you're gonna, if this brings us up to full-time status around the clock or not. And that, so, and then whatever infrastructure will have to be put in place. And that $177,000, I just got done talking with Calvin about it, get about a EMTA and a half. There's another program coming up from the state which is going to take a grant into consideration for the EMS service. And that could range anywhere from $50,000 to over $1 million, depending on how the grants are distributed. And that, so I'm sure everybody in the state is gonna, every county in the state's gonna be jumping on that one. So we are gonna write a grant for that and see what we come up with. And there too, that is used for EMTs or education as EMTs. This is all subject to change, and there's gonna be many meetings on this, but so far this is what we have come up with. And there's a few things that we have to take into consideration because there are some departments that are not part of Jefferson County that we have to figure out how they will show that they are using this money pretty much basically for Jefferson County. Because obviously we don't want to see this money being used elsewhere. So they're gonna have to show in their territories where this money actually goes for supporting Jefferson County. This is all done by departments. We had looked at doing townships. The problem with that is we all came with the same conclusion that the townships might take this money and try and reduce the budget of each department. That's not the intent of this right now, to reduce the budgets. We're trying to help the budgets along so that we can make a better service in Jefferson County. Because there's a lot of services right now that are not 24/7. they're 24/7, but they're not round the clock with people actually at the station. And that paid on call, which is getting harder and harder to do. Even the city departments are having problems with this. Another thing that needs to be looked at that we're looking into is the large variance in contracts from bigger departments to the townships that they cover. Specifically, I'll use Koshkonong and Oakland as an example. City of Fort Atkinson is charging each of these two townships, each, over $400,000 for their contract fee. And those two townships alone, their levy limit is right around that $400,000 range, so they're borrowing money in order to operate their township. So whether or not that's gonna be able to make a change, we don't know. Fort Atkinson and Jefferson County, or Fort Atkinson and the city of Jefferson, both had a referendum to boost their fire and EMS contracts. So we don't even know what the residents of Fort Atkinson and Jefferson will think about another $100 added to their tax bill when they're already paying extra on their tax bill for fire and EMS. Still a lot of questions to answer, but that's what's coming down. There'll be meetings coming up on this probably in the next couple of months. We're gonna be meeting with the committee, some of the committee members are gonna be meeting with the fire departments, hopefully first part of August. That depends on, I think when do you have chiefs meeting, Calvin, next week?
Wednesday. This Wednesday.
This week? All right, well, it's supposed to come up at the chiefs meeting that they come up with a date that all the chiefs will be able to meet with us and see what they think of this plan, so. That's where we're at it now. If you got any questions?
Just to clarify, is this part of the Act 212 that passed? Is this as a result of Act 212?
No.
The levy, the increased
Yeah, the levy, yeah, it's part of that, but
Okay.
that levy was there, you know, that the county can add a levy on for EMS.
Yeah.
Because it's a big problem throughout the state.
And then of the 3.1 that's being generated countywide, the town of Exonia plus our contracts with the town of Concord and the town of Watertown are 177,000.
Yes.
In the formula of 50% population, 33 1/3 call volume, what
Well,
was
it's
the
based
16.7?
on the valuation of the townships
Yeah.
and that, or the districts and that.
What was the 16.7% part of that equation? 50% was population, 33 1/3 was call density,
In land,
and 16.7 was what?
in area. in
Area,
land.
square miles. Okay. And is that formula, is that documented somewhere, is that just?
I don't know if it's on the website yet, I have it here, I can show it, you know, I can give you a copy, send you a copy of it.
So it was developed by the group?
It was developed by the university. We got a grant last year, that allowed us to hire the university. It was Unicity Alliance, and these students use this for their capstone project, and that's what they came up with this, you know. They did all the legwork, they collected all the data from the different fire departments, different areas, and that, analyzed this all and came up with this program. And, seems to be a pretty fair program. I mean, we can put whatever numbers we want into it, and but this is what we're using right now. You know, other than the equalized valuation, obviously, we gotta stick with the
No,
valuation
that's
from
the
the county.
baseline, right? No, I get that.
That's kind of a given thing
Yeah.
there. Another thing that's probably gonna be happening with this is, I don't know how many of you got in the Daily Times this last week probably. There was an article in there from the sheriff from Dodge County that they're gonna be looking at this, and I've been contacted from Dodge County. They'd like to meet with us so that they don't have to reinvent the wheel. And we're gonna work with them to see, you know, if we can fit in with theirs and kind of piggyback. Another thing Dodge County wants to do right off the bat in this next year is hire an EMS coordinator to help coordinate this stuff. But they feel that they really don't have enough work for them full-time in Dodge County, so then they have said, you know, well, maybe we should work with you in Jefferson County with this, and he can split his time up with that, so, that's too early to tell what's gonna happen there. And everything. I know it's a lot of information with no documentation, but, you know, this is what I've got, you know, and if you wanna see that program after a while, Dave, I can show it to you.
Yeah, I think personally, I'm just curious as to how they develop the formula.
I don't know if this is gonna, we'd like to get this through this budget year yet, that this taxation would be on this next year's tax roll. It's gonna be a lot of work in that, but maybe it'll go along, you know, now that finance committee's had it, exec committee has looked at it, everybody's supportive of it. I would have liked to seen, instead of going to the 0.2, maybe going to 0.35. It would make it a little bit better, but we gotta look at what everybody thinks in the town, or in the, on their tax bill too, so. It's a
Yeah,
big deal.
you hate to go back to the well in, you know, a year and a half. You have to go back to the well too, so that's
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
a factor.
this isn't gonna go away overnight, and it's not gonna, it might have to be revised several times too, so.
Gotcha.
Any other questions? Okay.
Thanks, Bruce.
Yeah.
Okay, and unfinished business. Discussion and possible action clarifying policy of stipend payment to board, commission, committee members.
Is it in the packet? I didn't see it in the packet.
No, sorry, I didn't include it, cause it was.
I know that several,
email form.
several supervisors wanted to see it, so anyways, looking to provide direction to the staff on reimbursements. Right now, it's kind of a little bit wild west, so we need to clean it up. What is reimbursable, what's not, who isn't reimbursable to, it's a little messy right now.
Reimbursing what now?
This would be stipends.
Explain this to me. Is the
Yep, no
old
problem.
system broken? It
Pardon
does
me?
not work. The old system broken, it does not work?
There's no clarification.
There's no clarification, yeah, this
As
is
far
just.
as what?
Well, as to who gets it, how much,
Okay.
what meetings they're, you know, allowed to, you know, claim.
Okay,
So
so
we're just
stipends
wondering-
only.
you're not saying, so who's ever claiming what meetings now, if they should be or they shouldn't be? Is that what
Correct.
you're looking?
Correct.
Is that what you're looking
Yeah.
at? Okay.
Yeah. So this was put together just to clarify what's, and I won't call it reimbursable, what is a stipend related meeting, what's not, and who's eligible for it.
Okay, so you wanted to clarify more what somebody is,
Give our staff direction as to
Ken,
what
well,
they
you
can.
can count
what they
me
can do,
out. I
yeah.
mean, I've told you that from day one.
Well, we can't, Danny, we just, everybody's gonna contribute the
No,
same.
I'm just
You,
saying, I
an-
don't-
An
I don't-
individual can
yeah.
elect to choose to.
I don't
Yeah.
collect per diem, and I never will, so
Understood,
I collect my, that's it.
yeah, individuals can
And
elect to.
I'm not here for the
or
money,
not.
so what I'm trying to say to you is, do you have something in writing of what you wanna do?
Right here.
Is this
That's
what
it.
you got?
Can you pass that down when you're done?
Yeah.
Really straightforward.
Well, why don't you read it so everybody, we don't have to keep passing it back
You
and
want
forth.
me to
You want to
Yeah,
read it?
just read it so,
Are you sure?
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, what are you reading?
Your email that you
Your
sent.
email.
Okay. Should be
I'll
pretty
keep
straightforward,
the other
right?
stuff
Did you
out,
send that
I'll
to
just
all of
read
us
the
or just
basic
Joanne?
stuff.
I sent it to
Okay.
Joanne.
Okay.
Elected officials are eligible for per diem stipend in the amount of $25, limited to monthly town board meetings, emergency or special town board meetings, and the annual board or review meeting, okay? As these are the only meetings that require attendance, appointed and confirmed committee, commission members are eligible for per diem stipend in the amount of $30, limited to regular scheduled monthly meetings in emergency or special meetings. So what
Straightforward.
you're saying is that is like for the fire department's meetings, right?
Elaborate.
Pardon me?
They don't get stipends, they're.
No, but if one of the board members goes to the
Yeah,
fire
they're
department,
not required.
okay. And you're saying you limited to $30.
Well, 25 for board members.
Well, 30 is what they've always been,
30 is
straight
what
across.
Yes, 30 has been what has been being paid out.
And we can talk about the dollar amounts, I'm not gonna get hung up on that, I'm just looking at
Yeah.
what we can be reimbursed for as elected and then appointed and/or confirmed individuals.
Well, I'm not getting nothing now, I don't see anything on there, and I don't want nothing, so.
Well, that's,
Well,
again,
you have to
that's
turn
an
it in.
individual's prerogative.
All
I
right,
mean, you
so
have
you're
to-
talking about the turned-in sheet.
Right,
that's
you
supposed
fill
to
it
turn
out
in.
and you turn it in, that's how you get it.
We're not gonna say, hey, if I don't turn anything in and I don't want it, I don't have to take it.
Correct.
Correct.
Good.
Yeah, that part doesn't change, you can still
Okay.
choose to or not to.
So you wanna limit it to when they send it in of what they're gonna get.
What they can be provided a stipend for,
Okay.
correct? Both committee and commission members, and also the board. It's really straightforward. Right now, it's a hodgepodge.
If we adopt this, does it end up becoming a town policy somewhere, like
Yes.
written down? Okay.
It's really to provide direction, and that was the purpose of it all along, was to provide her direction, because there have been questions as to what's reimbursable, not reimbursable, it's the wrong word to use.
You're right, there you go.
What they're allowed to claim as a stipend, what they're not.
What's, how's it like?
And it goes down to the committees and commissions too.
So if I
Some
go
don't-
visit
Some don't even know they're
Ben for
eligible.
some reason, I'm supposed to turn a per diem in?
What's that?
I say, so if I would go visit Ben for on some business thing, or Calvin, then I'm supposed to turn a, right now, you can turn a
Yeah,
per
you
diem
could,
in,
yeah,
correct?
if you stopped at
So
the
you
bar
would-
and had drinks
yeah.
with them and wanted
Yeah.
to turn it in, you could.
Yeah.
I think that's stretching.
Tell you
it.
what,
I'm
if
being
I-
sarcastic,
If I
of
started
course.
drinking, I probably wouldn't stop.
I mean, well, you guys wanna, I mean, make a policy, or you move on, or let's just,
I make a motion to leave the stipend as it is presently. Like you have mentioned at an earlier meeting, this has been going on for 25 years. There isn't any confusion.
Okay,
There
you're
isn't-
making a statement, I need you to make a
Okay,
motion.
I make a motion to leave the stipend the way it is and the way it's been for the last 25 years or so.
So I think what we would do is we would move to either approve this.
So you're already starting to discuss, so I need a second to the motion.
If nobody seconds what Rick says, then can
I think I'll make a
can
motion,
Dave
cause I
make
think
a
it should
motion
stay
for
the way
this?
it's been.
I'll move to.
Well,
I'm-
you're seconding it.
I second it.
Got it. Now you can discuss it.
No, again, we're not providing the staff with direction, period. So if that's what you guys wanna do, that's fine, I disagree completely, 100%.
Yeah.
I think we limit it, we keep it tight. Budgeting is, again, not a huge budget item, but budgeting is consistent then.
Hey, let me ask you this question. Is it amounting to a lot of money?
Again, the dollar amounts aren't huge,
Okay,
but we're providing our staff with the proper direction.
okay.
Proper accounting, proper accountability. That's really what it comes down to.
So can't we, as board members, be accountable for our own actions, and that means nothing?
Yeah, you absolutely can, Dan, as board members. Talk to me about the committee members and the commission members, though, how are we handling that?
Well, see,
Like the
that,
guy sitting next to there, he makes a living by picking up the phone, you call him, you know, he's gonna charge you for it, correct?
Sure.
Yeah, and I don't think any of us are on that policy. So what I'm saying is, maybe you should just say, you know, if you start talking to somebody, I'm not gonna.
Again, Danny, it's not about you now choosing to
I'm
do it
just
or
saying
not.
that maybe we should have some trust here, that's saying, hey, you just don't charge people for that.
It's not about trust, it's about providing the staff with direction on what to
Well,
reimburse, when and how.
Somehow it worked for 25, 30 years, okay, and it was budgeted and it worked, okay? I think we're trying to reinvent the wheel.
No, not at
And
all.
if the plan commission wants, they should be eligible for it. I mean, and that's.
Where's that?
Well, okay, I mean,
That's the problem.
If
That's the
a
whole
plan
problem. We
commission
don't-
member, like right now, wanted to.
they used to be eligible, and they just quit turning them in.
Because it
If
did.
they turned it in tomorrow, like right after the next plan commission meeting, they could get reimbursed or not?
Correct.
I wouldn't know to do that, because there's nothing that tells me anywhere that that's.
Okay.
There's people that are
process,
taking
a
this
policy.
personal and it needs to stop, because it's not personal. We're providing our staff with direction, simple as that.
Yeah, relating
If we
to
choose
that.
not
I
to
mean,
do
we have
that,
to have-
that's fine.
We have to have respect for our job. That's what I'm trying to get
Oh,
at.
no, I get that part.
And I get to the point that I know that you want to set a limit,
I just want accountability,
which I'm okay, you know, I don't care.
Provide Joanne
I'm
and the
okay with
team.
that if you want to set a limit to it, but,
It's not about that, again.
okay.
we can keep it as it is, and that's fine. But I disagree, and I'll vote no to keep it as it is. I think we should vote to approve it as it stands, keep it simple, straightforward.
So for the rules of order, how do we do that? Because we have.
Well,
we
right
have a
now,
motion and it
well, right
says
now, we have a
adopt.
motion, so we have to
Second.
vote on that
Yeah.
motion.
Okay,
And if it turned down, then we can open it back up for discussion.
okay,
Yeah, if it fails, you can entertain a new motion if you want.
Right,
okay.
So,
Yeah,
but
you-
right now, we can't do anything till we vote on the motion.
repeat
Yeah,
the
discussion
motion
as long as you need
for
it,
our,
take it.
our,
Rick, it's your motion.
I know, I just want her to repeat it, to verbalize it.
You seconded the motion.
Yeah.
Now you
I
can
did.
vote.
I have a motion to leave the stipend as is.
And it's.
Okay.
And seconded.
All those in favor, signal by aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
No.
So it dies because it's a, well, I'm sorry, can we have a verbal,
Yep.
vote so I know who voted no and who voted aye?
I voted aye.
Aye.
Okay, so it's 3-2.
3-2.
So the motion carries.
It's the least of our problem.
Okay, request by Brian Gilman for conditional use to allow for a kennel, including dog grooming and boarding, business at existing A3 zone at W1370 Gopher Hill Road, parcel 012-08160-0914-000.
All right, we're back. So last month, you asked for us to revisit this and clean up our proposal. So we removed some of the concerns from our initial proposal. So we're not gonna offer retail space anymore with the boarding grooming facility. We're also not going to include doggy daycare, because as we talked about it, we agreed it may stretch us too thin with it just being the two of us. So we're limiting it to just grooming and overnight boarding, along with set schedules for the dogs, specific hours, rotation, and supervision the entire time, to fit within what we're able to handle ourselves. So, was that in the package, the new one that we sent out or not? So, yep, okay. So we're keeping it at the 26 kennels. A couple of them are gonna be larger to accommodate family dogs. If the family brings in 2 or 3 dogs that can be kenneled together. The goal is to have a maximum at any time of 30 dogs, and that includes the dogs that we personally have as well. So currently, we have 12 dogs. I have on here 8 and 4 as adults and puppies, but as we continue to talk about this, our puppies are now 5 months old. So we have an appointment with them on Thursday to go get their rabies vaccinations, which we'll be bringing into the town once we have those. So since the last meeting, we did come in. We brought 7 rabies vaccinations, registered 4 with the town, because that's all we can do in the system right now. Did provide the other 3 that we had. So after this Thursday, all of them will be here at the town, with the exception of 1 dog who's had some health concerns right now and has been at the vet every day for the past couple weeks. She can't currently get her rabies vaccine. So once that's cleared by the vet, we'll get that vaccine as well, and we'll bring it in. So then the town will have records of every single personal dog that we own as well, while we're waiting for, if this, passes or not, so. Other than that, most of the rest of it stayed the same. We're still gonna have waste management contracts for cleaning up from all the animals, removing waste from the facility. All the traffic will stay retained within our own property, so it's not on any main roads. And we'll have noise mitigation in the form of insulation in the building. Does anybody have any questions about the?
I got a couple questions.
Sure.
When did you start breeding dogs?
I started breeding dogs be 12 years ago now, whenever that was, because it was when I got my first male.
So it's 26 minus 12, 2014?
Something around there,
Okay,
yeah.
alrighty. And what location was that you were breeding?
I lived in Alexis, Illinois at that time.
Okay.
And the breeding program, I have it highlighted in there as well. It is very small. We stay between 2 and 4 litters a year. We're very selective, and we're not just breeding to, have it be cash cow, by any means. We breed specifically for conformation of the animals. We're very, very selective about who we use. We don't bring outside programs in as well. So we keep it very close, tight knit in-house, and, you know, we don't ever plan to grow that.
At your last location, Brian, did you have dogs there?
In Menominee Falls, we
Uh-huh.
were looking for this property, yes, we did.
How many dogs did you have?
That varied, it was in between, I think it was between 7 to 12 at the time. Yeah.
7 to 12?
Yeah, depends, because we had some come in, some come out, yeah.
Uh-huh. I happened to call the village of Menominee Falls today and talked with a gal by the name of Amy, who's in that department. And she mentioned to me that there was no dogs ever registered
Yeah, we
in
already
Menominee
discussed
Falls.
that we didn't end up registering, because we were in the transition, he already lived there, and I moved in with him, and then we were moving. We were in the process of moving. They had, I think, one dog at some point with his ex-wife, and then I moved in later in life. He was there for 8 years?
Since 2018.
Yeah.
And the dog stayed on my ex-wife's property.
Right, so he was there for 8 years, and I had moved in, and then when I moved in, we started searching to buy a farm.
So the dogs were temporarily there while
Yeah,
we were
they
looking
didn't
for
get
property,
registered, they
but
were
they
through
did
there.
not get registered in Menominee Falls.
No.
Of the 8 adults, dogs, how many are retired? I think I've asked this question, I
There's
just don't recall.
only 3 currently breeding females and 1 male right now. Yeah.
So to give us a clear picture, what is the total quantity of all animals that you have on your farm, if you wanna call it that?
Currently?
Yeah, currently we have 12 dogs and 2 horses. And
12 dogs, how many horses?
2 horses.
2
We
horses.
did have 3, but
We just
we
lost one
recently
this
lost
week.
my 30.
Yeah. And then we have a handful of chickens. I'm
Okay.
not sure exact count, but 20 maybe? 15,
20 chickens roughly?
Roughly.
Uh-huh.
20 today, and maybe less tomorrow, depending on what
Well, it
happens
just
over there.
depends. Every time we
It's
go
been a
out
hell
there,
of a
there's.
month, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
It kinda seems to me that the order should be that you get permission, first, and then you bring in, you know, the animals. And it kinda seems a little backwards here, in my mind. You know, you bring the animals in, and now you're asking for permission.
Right.
It doesn't settle right in my mind, you know.
And we did approach that, when we moved in mid-April, we had called even in, March.
It was a month before.
Yeah, it's 2 or 3 weeks before we actually had our close date, once we figured out everything was going to happen, to get this process started as quickly as we could. Between filling out the conditional use permit application here at the town, and also calling Jefferson County to ask for procedure to get it all figured out. So we had this submitted to try and be actually on the meeting prior to actually owning the house, because we wanted to make sure that we were here for the main meeting and got this process going as fast as we can. You know, with houses going on the market and selling, well, you know, within a few days, it's difficult to try and get the house and move everything and go through 3-4 month process as this is turning out to be, and do everything exactly the right way, with just the way, you know, the order happens, you know. So we were trying to get as ahead of it as we possibly could and inform everybody, hey, we're coming, we're gonna have dogs, what do we need to do? And this is just kind of where we are right now.
I think instead of wasting a lot of time worrying about what happened in the past, let's just try to focus on, I mean, is the board in favor of what they proposed as a conditional use? Or are we not in favor of it? And-
Yeah, can I make a motion?
Yeah,
Just to
go
tell
right
you,
ahead.
I move that we recommend approval of the conditional use permit for the kennel at W1370 Gopher Hill Road, with our recommendation expressly limited to the plan of operation and the applicant's July narrative, and that the permit be tied to the site plan and the plan of operation as submitted, so that any material expansion or change in the nature of operation requires a new or amended conditional use permit. I can send that to you. It's basically like tying it to the plan.
Yeah,
like
no, I
rather
agree.
than like.
The plan of operation.
Yep,
Correct.
that's,
Okay.
that's exactly what you need to do.
Can you say that again?
Yeah, sure. So, I recommend that
No,
we
I'm
approve
just
the.
kidding.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion on it?
I do, as far as the conditional use, you kind of outlined some of those. Were there any other aspects within the conditional use that we should consider?
The only question I have is 30 dogs is a lot of dogs. I question that number. Okay, I have no problem with the grooming by appointment. You know, I have no problem with that. I have no problem with having a kennel per their plan of operation and stuff. But 30 seems to be a lot of dogs.
That's your maximum, right?
Yeah, that would be the max
But
standard.
what I'm saying is that there probably won't be 30 there all the time.
No.
Depending upon who comes in.
I'm just, I just got that question.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah,
only
you
question
know,
that I have.
I would
And
imagine
that's gonna be
when
based
people
on
vacation
community
and
Demand as well.
If you look at occupancy rates, probably, I would just guess 75% is probably a good average across.
yeah, so on average.
That was the only question I
Yeah.
had. Because for two people, that's a lot of dogs.
On the surface, it does, but then you net out the age and the puppies, and, you know, because if you get a litter, now you're gonna be down to probably 15, 16 for boarding.
Right.
Okay.
Yep, no, that'll,
It's the only question I had.
yep, that'll fluctuate greatly depending on program.
I
You
think
know,
that-
if we have a hard cap, you know, we won't accept anybody if we have 12 dogs or if we have a litter or so on and so forth.
Your location behind everything, you know, kinda helps out a lot. Being in front of
Right.
the dairy barn, the only exposure you have is to the
Right.
east.
And it is a lower feed lot, so the building will be completely behind that large dairy barn.
Right.
And it's really gonna
So
block
it's
lots
not
of
out
sound.
front where people are gonna, you
No,
got a
you
little.
can't see it at all from the road, other
Right.
than on the
On north, you can see it
east
coming up.
side, but
Yeah.
with the corn up, you can't see it.
Right.
Is there any other discussion? Well, hearing no more discussion, all those in favor signal by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Opposed.
Just for clarification, the motion was to recommend approval to the county, right?
Correct.
Because obviously they.
Yeah, I didn't say that, but I assumed.
Well, it's implied, right? I just wanna
It's
make.
implied, yeah, right.
Clear for
Okay.
the record, 'cause this still has to go to the county
Yeah.
for their approval. in
Thank
order
you.
to get
Right,
the,
correct.
conditional use permit.
Okay, motion carries. Granted on your plan of operation. If you deviate outside that plan of operation, you will be in violation of your conditional use.
Correct.
Okay,
Okay, all right, thank you.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Discussion and possible action regarding resolution 2026-04, approving Lake County Municipal Court budget. We don't have a lot to do with municipal court, so their budget sort of mute to us, so.
Move to approve as noted.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signal by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Discussion and possible action regarding the successor agreement for the operation of the Lake County Municipal Court. Again, it's a simple,
I thought we already did this.
Well, we were going
Yeah.
to.
we were going to, but then the verb wasn't right.
Oh.
But didn't we combine them all and then approve them?
Move to approve.
No, we didn't.
Palmyra was in on it?
Right, well, this is now, you're now agreeing or approving Palmyra's.
Addition.
We're getting to that day.
Move to approve.
Well, I thought we
Second.
did that already.
Well,
Okay,
it was
okay.
on the agenda, but it never
Can't
got.
combine it?
Yeah, we didn't.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Who made the motion? Second,
I seconded.
got it. Thank you.
Okay, any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signal by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, discussion and possible action regarding repealing previous ordinance and adopting ordinance 2026-01, recreating Lake County Municipal Court, allowing the village of Palmyra to join the court.
We just did that, didn't we?
Here's yours, Dan.
The other one was the accessor agreement.
Successor, yeah.
This is the actual ordinance.
The
Yeah.
ordinance,
Oh.
yep.
I make a motion
I
to,
second it.
Have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all is in favor, signal by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Discussion in Autumn Ridge West subdivision.
Yeah, I can start.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, thank you.
we've got this item in the spirit of transparency and it is an update, I think for the benefit of everyone. The Autumn Ridge subdivision, which has received its proper zoning and subdivision approval, they reached out to request an early start on the earthwork permits, or the earthwork. We are currently ongoing with the engineering review. The request has come at a time where we understand the developers here with us who can answer any questions. So more of an update for everyone's benefit is that the earthwork is likely to start taking place soon. So I guess just for discussion only, that was just the intent for having this on the agenda. If anyone had any questions, both I'm here in terms of any technical questions, the developers here as well to answer any questions on this. So that was generally it.
Got it all staked out, ready to go, for topsoil.
Well, that would be up for the developer, but in terms of the erosion control, there is a permit that will need to be in place, and then we'll inspect the erosion control on a recurring basis. So it'll be essentially as if it's a private development. Prior to the developers agreements, no public improvements would be able to get in, but it's my understanding there's a lot of earthwork to happen out there, so that was the intent behind this request.
Wetland delineation is all done, or?
That'll be one of the conditions to demonstrate that all DNR fill permits are achieved or attained, and copies of their provided to the town.
Before the earthwork starts?
Yes.
The wetland delineation has been completed.
Good.
We have made application to the DNR for the NOI, which allows us to start moving dirt if granted by the town. That is our erosion control permit at the state. We would, not sure if there's an erosion control permit that we would need to do with the town, but we're prepared to apply for that as well. In which case, at that time, we put in the erosion control measures and start making inspections prior to moving any dirt.
They require you to seed that, am I right, if it sits for a while, those piles?
Pardon?
They require you to seed those piles if they're sitting for a while, the topsoil piles?
Yeah, the dirt, it must be stabilized, if it's going to not used for an extended period of time, that's correct.
This was more for discussion to let the board know that they were gonna be starting and where we were at with the project. So it was just, kind of a communication thing.
We'd be happy to answer any questions, but, we're working with, engineers with, everything else, and I think we're getting close there, for the sake of the time of year. Being able to get a start on moving dirt helps us, get completed in a timely manner and not have to fight the elements of winter or even stop in some cases, so that's the reason for the ask now. Like I said, we've applied for the permit. I would expect to see that in the next week or two from the state, and, same with our closing on the property. We're not asking to start moving dirt before we close. We will be closing on the property, in the next couple weeks here.
Makes sense, gonna jump on the weather.
Does anybody have any questions?
Any change from the map? I mean, the delineation was done prior to the map, or the plot map that we saw, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that all stays.
That's part of the NOI that the state
Yeah.
reviews and looks at.
Okay.
Okay, there's no action was to be needed. It was just more or less for discussion, so that the board knew where everything was at.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Dave.
Okay, new business. Discussion and possible action regarding requests from Tech Force LLC for a variance to allow a building addition with maximum height of 50 feet above finished floor, exceeding the 35 feet height limit in the zone at W1285 Industrial Drive, parcel 012-0816-2722-011. My understanding is it was in front of the Plan Commission.
Correct, yes. My name is Ken Cray. I'm with MSI General. I'm here to represent Heat Tech, which is the property owner as Tech Force. Yeah, we went before Plan Commission and they unanimously approved the variance, and now I'm here to ask for your support as well so they can continue to grow their operations here in the industrial park.
What's the reason for the 15-foot difference?
They make industrial ovens, and as you imagine, the market for those, the size of them has increased over time with different production facilities, and they're actually losing out on orders and business because they can't compete with facilities that have larger opportunities. And so that's the reason, is so that they can build larger ovens and expand their, to grow the business in that regard and support the demand that the customers are asking for.
So this is basically in the, you would say, the area they're putting them together?
Correct. What they do is they have to assemble the ovens, paint them, finish them, test them, do all the quality control, and then they disassemble them so they can ship. So.
I got a question. Has our fire department been informed of this 50-foot height? And are they able to handle something of this nature?
We have not reached out to the fire department yet because we really need to make sure that we can build the structure first before we go through the rest of the approval process. But we have met with JF Ahern is the company that currently has the fire suppression system within the building, and they've said that the existing system can't accommodate with the fire pump and the tank that they have currently in place. So.
They have their own sprinkling system in there.
Correct.
That was gonna be one of my questions about if the sprinkler system is staying in the building, and then roof access on the interior of the building.
I'm sorry, roof?
Roof access from the interior of the building, is that a possibility, or
We
either?
have not made provisions for roof access, but I can certainly add that to the list if that's a requirement.
Okay. It's just a concern I have, seeing that we don't have a ladder truck here in
Okay.
Arizona.
All right.
So 35 feet is
50 feet you're getting
all
there.
higher than we can go.
Right, correct.
Okay. So interior, you like an interior roof access? Okay.
They'd like to have an elevator.
In case of a fire, I believe all elevators are shut down, so that would do it good, so. If they had access to the existing roof and then to get to the second roof,
Yeah,
is that
I'm just
sufficient?
I'm not sure, without driving by, I don't know if there's AC units or anything up on those roofs.
The intent is not to put any equipment on the roof, maybe a couple of exhaust fans at the most, but, everything else is unit heaters inside the building, so, and there's no air conditioning in the manufacturing side.
Does anybody else have any questions?
These must be some heck of ovens if you want a 50-foot clearance.
They are, Rick.
I mean, I can't imagine an oven that big. What are you cooking in them?
The building, the hook height for the crane will be 35 feet. It's just, between the crane structure and the roof structure and everything.
Sure,
that's what-
to get it in and out. Yeah, out.
Yeah, it's impressive what they do and some of the facilities that go in, so.
So it's probably not a question for you, but what's your clearance gonna be from the top, the finished product to the roof? Or you got tight, is it tight?
No, not really. I mean, the hook height is 35 feet, so that the highest the ovens will probably be is around 30, 32,
Okay.
something like
If
that.
you're running
so-
cranes in there and you got a tight spot, you know what happens.
Correct, understood. Which is why they can't do it in the current facility, so.
Right.
And they'll continue to manufacture what they're doing now. It's just this will allow them to expand their offerings and stay market relevant, so.
I'll move to approve the request from Tech Force LLC for the variance and allow for building height addition max 50 feet.
Second it.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion?
Can I make an amendment? Or do I make an amendment now?
You can discuss.
Okay, the amendment that I would propose is that we tie it to the MSI site plan and not the property in general And also that Calvin is able to approve the fire protection plan, and put that in the approval.
That'll be required. The fire, we'll have to get the fire.
That'll be
protection
state
plan
approved.
Required through the state.
That'll be
requirements.
state approved, the fire.
Okay.
system.
Well, I do still think we should tie it to the MSI plan and not the overall property. Is that what you said? To the plan itself or the property?
Well, no, we're just approving the variance. The height variance on
Yeah,
this.
just the variance.
Okay.
We're not approving the site, we're not
Not the
approving any of
plan,
that right now.
just the variance.
Okay.
That, I guess that's the concern. We're approving the variance to the height restriction.
Okay.
Right.
We can take it further and look at it, I mean, we're probably not gonna see the site plan.
No, because that'll be state approved.
Right.
The plans will be state approved.
Correct, there's a site plan in there as an exhibit for
Yeah.
reference, and
Yeah.
that would be the intent that we're gonna design and build exactly as it's drawn there, so.
Okay.
And
So
then
your
this does
concern
have
isn't
to go
really
to
addressed, I
county
mean, I guess.
Board of Adjustments as well after the town hopefully supports it.
Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signal by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you for your time.
Thank you on behalf of PTEC.
Discussion and possible action regarding resolution 2026-05, filling vacancy and appointing municipal court judge. Again, we don't have a lot to do with it. It's just a formality.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signal by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Discussion and possible action regarding accepting bid for the wastewater treatment plant berm extension project.
Yeah, so, it's a project we've worked on for the last, few months or so on receiving word and approval from the DNR that, excess, materials consisting of sand and gravel at the old wastewater treatment plant on Highway P can be used to grade out and build out space on the newly built wastewater treatment plant. Back on April 2nd, we received confirmation and approval to do so from the DNR that it would be covered under the Clean Water Fund, which, according to the DNR, had $1,049,852.41 left in contingency. So since then, we had spent some time planning and designing the wastewater berm extension project, which is what the intent to use that money is for. Essentially, the project will be removing all the remnants, structures, and piping underground at the old treatment plant, bringing that to a landfill, excavating out about 26,000 cubic yards of sand and gravel from that site, hauling it over to the new treatment plant site, and grading out there. The intent is to, for the old treatment plant site, is to set that up for potential development, lowering the grade to make it more appealing for a developer to come along and potentially build on it. It's going to be a 350 by 280 foot level pad in the finished condition. So with that, the recommendation of the three bidders we got, we had good competitive bids. Rock Road Companies submitted a bid for $671,854.49. We opened bids on July 1st. Followed closely by Karteschner Brothers, and then Integrity Grading and Excavating was the third lowest, or the highest in this case. So the recommendation is to award the contract to Rock Road Companies in that amount. So I'll take any questions you may have.
So we do a lot with Karteschner Brothers, a lot.
The paving program we've done with them for the last 4 years or so.
Do we have leverage? I mean, cause obviously we wouldn't keep using them if they weren't decent and didn't treat us proper. Is that fair, Ben?
Yeah, I mean, they've always come in as the lowest bidder before, so
Yeah.
that's why we've used them.
I know they're the ones that did the bike trail too, right, if I'm not mistaken?
Yes.
I would just push them to, I mean, I don't know who Rock Road Companies is.
They're a reputable contractor. They've done a lot of DOT work.
Okay.
So they've been vetted, and per discussions, we had no concerns with any of their pre-qualification application. So they meet those standards.
I just know we've done a lot with this other group, so that was my only thought, is if there's any
What I'll add-
advantage.
Yeah, what I'll add too is that with the Clean Water Fund aspect of this, it did have to be publicly bid.
Yes.
And it has to be low bid unless there's a reason not to.
Correct.
Exactly.
Correct.
Have we used these Rock Road people in the past for anything?
We have not, but
Okay.
they did do the paving on 16, east of Rock River Road 2 years ago.
So they're not like the
They're
new
a
kid
lot-
on the block, they've been around a while and have done,
Yeah, they're not a new company.
okay, okay.
New to us, but not new, understood. I just, and I think we're kinda tied to it anyway, unless they came
Right.
in
Yeah,
and matched it or
unless we
something.
had some real valid reason.
Yeah, being we're using the Clean Water Fund money, we have to go with low bid unless you can show a valid reason why they don't qualify.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much a slam dunk.
Yep.
What extension of the berms, which one? Front berm?
A little bit of both, so
Both
the.
side towards the.
Mainly the one that is closer to River Valley. What we're gonna do is on the east side of that, into the farm field going towards the new fence, we're gonna fill that area in, just kinda taper down the grade. We do have a little space to, make the berm along 16 a little bit closer towards those trees. So we're gonna utilize about 1,000 cubic yards there.
Extended to the east?
Not to the east,
No.
we're just gonna make it fatter, if you will.
Okay, wider.
South, yeah.
Wider.
Wider, yeah.
Okay, you're not doing anything to the south then? I think you're probably getting into wetlands down there, aren't you?
The one on River Valley is not going south, we don't have any more space to do that yet.
Any extraction from the old plant? I mean, that's a lot of aggregate that's coming out of there.
Yeah, that's what the material is used for, it's about, we calculated about 26,000 cubic yards.
Understood.
Yeah.
And you're talking about that being a level site over there?
Yep.
It will be. Not entirely, there's still, the footprint of the two large filter beds.
Yeah.
That's essentially what's being cut down.
Right.
Everything a little bit to the west of that, that's more or less staying the same.
And if you're familiar with it, to the west there is a valley that goes, there is another area of fill that was put in there years ago.
Okay.
So,
You
but
pull-
for the most part, you'll have a level pad where the two sand cells are now, and we'll be able to section that off from the current, or from the old treatment plant where the buildings are, and
Yeah.
it'll be a usable lot.
Okay.
What, is there a follow-on project to get it across the finish line to become a usable lot? Like, is there additional funding?
What it,
When it's done, it'll be a usable lot.
Yeah, I mean, like, as soon as this is done that we're talking about, it becomes a usable
Yep.
lot? Okay.
other than we have to do you're gonna have to redo the boundaries of the property, that's it.
You'd have to have it surveyed.
Yep.
And it's already been surveyed as part of this project, so if there's, further discussions or development about how the parcel would wanna be sectioned off, then that's a pretty straightforward exercise.
You're all staked already, right? During grading, if you got one that's, you're gonna take a lot out, you're gonna have to probably redo it down.
How big is it, site 3?
That's really good.
3 acres?
I'd have to.
Yeah, I'd have to double check, I think the new grading site on the old treatment plant's about 4.
Is it that much? Okay.
And then the one we're excavating from is a little smaller than that, it's between 2 and 3.
Okay.
We need a motion.
I make a motion to accept the bid for the wastewater treatment plant from Rock Road Companies for $671,854.49.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all's in favor, signal by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Discussion and possible action regarding request for payment number 1 for Kirkatcher Brothers LLC in the amount of $332,380, 97 cents for a 2026 road project.
Ben, has that work been done and
Yeah, this
checked
work-
off
this is for the
satisfactorily?
work For the month of June, this is the first payment, there will be another, payment for the road work.
Okay. I make a motion to approve payment to Cartechner Brothers LLC in the amount of $332,380.97 for the 2026 road project.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion?
Why do we vote on this instead of it just being part of the regular budget line items that Joanne has?
Because it's a progress, it's, you know,
Because the project is completed now and this is the final building. And it's payment and it's approved by the engineering.
Yeah. So I asked the question, is the work satisfactory, and been checked? Yes, it was. So they did the work.
Is that like part of a town ordinance, or did we ask for the updates to be part of the agenda?
It's state law, the board controls the purse string, so the board has to approve these payments.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I mean, it's not a problem, I'm just curious.
Yeah, so I verified the work's done. They said yes, so it's a green light.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signal by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Discussion and possible, okay, let's see here. Discussion and possible action regarding request for payment for Scott Construction in the payment number 1 in the amount of $126,540.
This is for this year's seal coating, with the retainage being held out for the year, for next year. This work has been done.
Okay.
Satisfactory.
I make a motion to pay Scott Construction, Inc., payment number 1 for $126,540 for seal coat work.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion?
Ben, what did you say about the retainage?
There's a 5% retainage, which is standard.
It's being held till next year, though, did you say?
Yeah, we generally, like, what the next line item is retainage from last year.
Okay.
So,
Any other discussion?
we usually wait to hold on for a winter to see how everything.
How it's fared, okay.
All those in favor, signal by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Discussion and possible action regarding request for payment for Scott Construction in the payment number 2 in the amount of $155,040 for 2025 road seal coating project.
it's 1,500.
Or, I'm sorry, 1,555.
Yes.
And
Ben,
40
Ben,
cents.
has that been done?
Yep, this is for the retainage for the work from 2025.
Yeah.
The seal
Okay.
coating is all held up well.
I make a motion to pay Scott Construction, payment number 2, in the amount of $1,555.40 for 2025 road seal coating project.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signal by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Discussion and possible action regarding setting up a special meeting to discuss financing for the new highway shop.
Yeah, so I have 2 dates that I've worked out with Oliver Construction and Brian Ramers to meet with the board. So it would be August 4th or the 5th, whichever would work best for the 5 of you.
Yeah. What
At
days
6
are they?
o'clock.
Thursday,
It's a-
Friday?
it's a-
Or what days are they?
It's a Tuesday and Wednesday.
Tuesday and Wednesday?
Yes, at 6 o'clock.
Tuesday, Wednesday.
Tuesday, Wednesday, so either one of those dates, I just worked it out so that we had 2 available dates for you to choose from.
So 4th and 5th?
Yep, 4th or the 5th, so if you could let me know which day works, and I will get back and let them know.
Yeah.
We'll set up a special meeting for discussion on DPW facility.
6 o'clock?
Yep.
6:30?
Can we decide that now, Brian?
Yeah, I'm trying to get it
Yeah.
decided.
Okay, I'd like to recommend we go for Wednesday. At what time? 6?
6 o'clock. is
6
what
o'clock.
I have asked everyone, so.
Second?
Just settle down here.
Okay. Well, we're just moving. I mean.
Well, now you're in a hurry. Before you weren't. Anybody else have any other input?
I'm good for that.
You're good? Dave?
I'll make it happen.
I'll make it happen. Danny?
Don't make any difference, I'll be there.
Okay, Rick, now we can, the date is set,
So it'll be August 5th at 6 PM.
August 5th at 6 PM.
Okay.
Unless, Danny, you want 6:30?
Well, hey, tell you what, my business, every 15 minutes is a big difference, so.
6
o'clock,
6
I'll make
o'clock.
it. Yep, we're good.
Yeah, let Oliver know. And
Is that gonna be more of an informational brief, or are we gonna be expected to vote and make a decision at that meeting?
Yeah, it's gonna be on the financing, so we're going to bring forth some plans of the financing if you have, and I'll have the designs of the building. If you have any specific questions that you'd like, please ask me beforehand so that I can get all the information together.
But Oliver will be here to answer
Yeah.
any questions. They did all the design work. They'll be here to answer questions. Ben will be here to answer questions. Brian Ramers will here to help with financing, to answer questions on different possibilities.
But you're not approving a finance.
Yeah, that's what I was asking, is like, is it giving us information that we approve then at the next regular board meeting, or,
Yeah.
or do we make the decision there on the spot?
That would be
Discussion.
discussion.
Okay.
We'll bring forth the plan, or the thoughts, if you have changes, at that time we'll go back and then come back to the board at the next meeting.
Would they be prepared to, let's say we wanted to stair-step things for this project. Are they prepared to be able to talk to the cost variations and stair-stepping?
They do have a laid out cost variations and plans, and again, if you'd like to see them, I do have them, so I'd really appreciate to show any one of you.
Yeah.
So if you're interested.
It was discussed in length at our last meeting.
Right, no.
And it has been broke down into, like least and most important.
Yeah.
And
Individual item, it shows each.
it shows costs, approximate costs.
Yeah.
And this is, what we've gathered so far is their best guess. It still would have to go over public bid, so that would then change at that point too. So it's a very conservative numbers what we've come through first, but again, I'd like to show any one of you individually if you'd like to see it.
In our meeting, they felt very confident that these numbers were very good numbers, that we're not gonna be real shocked with the bids. That was part of their discussion.
Their presentation to us is they would make those numbers real, or even less. That was what was said, correct, Ben? Even
Yes,
less,
Yeah,
yeah.
like I said, they're very conservative guess is what they're going so far, but
So we'll see about the even less part.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
So we've got it set.
We said at 6 o'clock, right?
6:30.
Is it really 6:30 or?
Dan?
Just kidding you guys, man. Come on, lighten this up a little bit.
August 5th at 6 p.m.
Perfect.
Thank you, Ben.
Okay, discussion and possible action regarding Plan Commission subcommittee findings and recommendations for upgrades to subdivision ordinance.
Yes, so, as directed by the Plan Commission, there has been a subcommittee looking at specifically our subdivision ordinance. That includes myself, Ben and Calvin have been part of that, as well as 4 additional members of the community. So we've met a few times to look at potential updates to that subdivision ordinance, mostly around areas of growth, specifically sidewalks, green space, lighting, roads, and fire protection. And as a first step from those recommendations, I had sent them to Attorney Riffle through Joanne. And he had some comments on it and recommended that we do kind of like a working session with the town board. So you don't have anything in your packet. We're not taking any action on any of this tonight. But we do have a planned subcommittee meeting tomorrow night at 5 p.m. here. So I know it is last minute. We're still going to have that meeting and discuss it. After this meeting, I will be sending you all our initial recommendations and Attorney Riffle's initial comments. So if you can attend tomorrow night, that would be wonderful. If not, I certainly understand. You are welcome to email me, and we can certainly discuss setting up an additional meeting if we want to have another working session to talk through some of the things to basically balance again, these areas of growth and quality of life initiatives versus like being able to bring in development into the town in a way that makes sense from both a policy and a financial perspective and all of those things. So again, I'm not necessarily asking for any action tonight, but if you have any questions more broadly, I'm happy to try and answer them. I just don't want to like get in the weeds as to like specifics of what we're thinking, because I think that deserves its own conversation.
Do the recommendations that come out of the subcommittee then come to us at a meeting, and then,
Yes,
and then
so-
they become town ordinances or something?
Yes, so potentially, right? So ultimately, you as the town board will decide what to do there. We were a committee asked to specifically look at this. That will go first to the plan commission to look at that as well, and they have not reviewed these either, so, and then that would have a recommendation that you as the board could decide on, and you could enact all of it. You could keep things the way they are, you can make changes to it, just like any other ordinance, but then the intention would be if there are changes we want to make, or you want to make as the board, that would then be updated in our town ordinances.
Chapter 26 hasn't been touched in a long time, long overdue. So this is just a way to look at, we had a group of people look at chapter 26, tear it apart,
Yeah.
and say,
And it's also, again, this is another piece that was part of the recommendations of the comprehensive plan in 2023 as well, is that we do take a, like, using comprehensive a lot, but a comprehensive look at that as well, especially knowing that, and one thing is, we do not expect that these would necessarily apply to the current Autumn Ridge subdivisions, like, we're too far behind the 8 ball on that. But there is additional land opportunity, you know, within the town center where there could be additional subdivisions. So it's, again, just making sure we're putting into writing what we as a town want from the start that can then be further discussion as part of developers agreements and all of that. So.
The only comment I have is, all these ideas they all bring merit, and they also bring negative, okay? And part of the problem being is, it adds costs. Okay, and costs deter building, and it also, you have maintenance down the road, which increases tax dollars. Lighting needs maintenance, it has a monthly fee. I mean, there's an impact to all these, and, some of these things there are subdivisions that offer these things, that this is what you want. No different than if you wanted a house with no stairs. Okay, and different things. There are places that offer it. So, I'm just trying to keep in mind that sometimes more restrictions doesn't make our quality of life better. It just makes it more challenging. So it's just something to consider when you're looking at these things, is what is the impact? Because, right now, a lot of people feel that they're paying a lot of taxes or spending a lot of money for very little received. So.
And to your point, specifically to lighting, one of the questions that I had asked Stan is, can we put that the cost to maintaining those is put onto the homeowners association of the
It can be.
subdivision?
It can be privately metered.
Exactly. So, like, we are keeping, I'm just letting you know, like, we are discussing that. We're keeping that in mind.
But, that also creates hassles too.
Absolutely.
So, but
Nothing's easy.
it's just something that, when people first looking at a house, they don't look at all these added on fees that the homeowners association have. They're overwhelmed with trying to look at, so I'm just trying to keep, is it always make, somebody's opinion of quality of life is way different than the next person. And, sometimes if you want more light, you can put a post light, a light on your garage. I mean, it just, I question if some of these things are needed, that's all.
Yep,
And
and that's part of the discussion.
My perspective is, and the reason I'm a big fan of this is, I had a subdivision we were at down in western suburbs of Chicago. They forced the builder to build a school. I mean, that's the extreme that these builders are faced with, that they can walk in here and not have any out of pocket. And they'll walk into a different area, now more homes, but they were forced to build a school.
But here's what it is, I see the restrictions in some of these subdivisions. Why would somebody wanna live in there?
Exactly.
With your hands tied. Okay, what kind of a quality life is that? Okay, you wanna go to some place where
Well,
you got a
that's
quality.
but that's HOA's thing. That-
Yeah,
that-
I'm just let me finish here.
Yeah.
I think you gotta go for more quality, and you can't sit here and cookie cutter these houses out in these subdivisions. That's not a quality of life, having one right next to each other. You've gotta make them a little bigger, provide more green space.
And that's another thing, green space is something we've talked
Yeah.
about. I
There seems to
think
be a
there-
snubbed up nose when I mention green space. What, green space?
Oh, no,
I mean,
we're totally in favor of it.
you may have to buy more land.
I'm
Well,
totally
then
in
you
favor
gotta
of it, I
buy
should
more
say.
land. Hey, come on, you know?
Yeah, no, I am in agreement there. I think, you know, I will say there are a couple of things, the quality of life things definitely deserve a lot of discussion, and I think ultimately, like you said, Brian, like both sides have merit, right? Like, I get why you want it and why you don't. There are some pieces of it though, that I do think need to be updated, and that's around the roadways, which Ben worked with our engineers on that. And then, the fire suppression as well those are my biggest concerns, because it's a public safety issue. But, again, I would just encourage you all, I know it's short notice to come tomorrow, so I will not have hurt feelings if you can't make it. But we'll work to get another time, but I will send you all of this information either this evening or first thing tomorrow morning.
The thing about, the also thing that I see is these cookie cutter and jamming all these houses in, that system down there is gonna wear out a lot faster. They're putting a lot more houses in. Where you put maybe a fifth less houses, people are gonna gravitate towards that quality of life, that's gonna last a lot longer.
You could certainly
We're not here
understand if
to
you
wear
wanted
that
to
out
put-
as fast as we can.
You could certainly, and again, I'm not a lawyer, so I guess I could be wrong here, but my understanding is that you could put a minimum acreage into that, if that's what you choose. I will say that's not something we have discussed as this committee.
You guys did setbacks, though, right? You did discuss setbacks,
Yeah, we didn't
right?
we didn't change them from what they are
You did not,
currently.
okay.
The one comment I wanna make is, you know, all these predictions with Jefferson County and all the things I've heard are viable to a point, okay? But I can tell you right now, we don't have a flock of builders here trying to buy land or look at developing anything, nor residential nor commercial. Right now, I mean, we have the two projects going that were sort of started and are being completed. But other than that, and that one new commercial that went in Kurt Pernit's land, other than that, there has been no request of anyone. So sometimes these predictions might fall short, and you gotta look at why people come here to build and why they build here and not other places. And that would start with talking to some of the builders. I mean, some of their input might be just as valuable as, you know, why they wanna come here versus why, you know, they're not here. So it's just things, I'm just trying to look at both sides of the coin.
And I think my only rebuttal comment to that would be, I wouldn't not take up this discussion because you don't see this, because then when that development does come, you're gonna still be behind the eight ball on having this.
No, I agree, I just
So,
wanna make sure that, you know, we look at all perspectives.
yep, absolutely.
Just take care of the necessities, but keep it simple.
Yep.
Don't complicate it.
Yep. Okay, thank you.
You wanna stay up for the trilogy discussion or not?
No, that's not my
Oh, that
agenda
was-
item. I just commented on it earlier.
Okay.
I don't think at this point there's any action to be taken.
On
On
the
eight?
last one, no.
Yeah,
It was just kinda informational.
yeah, it says possible action. So it's just discussion and possible action regarding conducting an impact fee study for the town using Triology Consulting LLC.
Yeah, so I brought this up, during our subdivision meetings mostly for the fire department, with us looking at the possibility of constructing a new fire station, public safety building in the near future. I think it's something that needs to happen, so I would, asking for approval to, use money from my building repair to do a impact fee study on the township for possibly imposing future impact fees for fire protection for this development.
What's the cost?
Believe it was
I thought it was 6,500.
6,500. Now, there is cost savings if we were to do multiple studies as far as DPW and the parks. But, I don't know, my personal opinion is we're already behind the 8 ball for the fire department side of things. And I feel like there's gonna be a push of growth coming in the next couple of years. You look at Oconomowoc, there's not much room left to build in Oconomowoc, so they're gonna come this way.
If there is new impact fees that the study says, like, yeah, we need to raise the impact fees, does that become retroactive to the current developments? Like, or what about the developments that we're talking about right now that are like in flight, we've approved the plats? Would the impact fees apply to those, or like, who does it apply to?
The plat doesn't have anything to do with it. It's when they take, the impact fee is paid when they take a building permit out. So once you approve the impact fee, it becomes, active at that point. I guess the effective date is you guys pick it. It could be effective tomorrow, next week, whatever, okay? When it becomes effective, that's when any new building comes in after that date is when that impact fee would need to be paid.
Okay.
By the person that uses the services.
Well, it's by the person taking out a building permit.
Okay, yeah.
The thing you have to remember though, these impact fees are very limited in how they can be used. Okay, and they have a time limit, it's 10 years, I believe, is the limit, and it's basically the way it boils down to where it did. The town used to have impact fees. We had for park and rec and for fire. But the thing is, after 10 years, if you don't use that money for brick and mortar, the money has to be refunded back to the person who took the permit out, which requires,
It goes back to the person who owns the property.
or, okay, whoever, but still, okay, the money has to go back. So a check has to be written, interest has to be paid out on it, and it requires a lot of follow-up on the office side. It's not just like you can say, well, we're gonna add on or remodel or fix this up or use it for a new piece of equipment or anything like that. It's kind of very deceiving.
Well, I think what's clear is we do need a new facility, and we're gonna be working on building that and all of that stuff. So it's kinda like, you could talk about that, but it doesn't have any bearing, because we're gonna go forward and spend it on brick, correct? So.
Well, I'm trying to point out, for like highway and for some of these others, do you want the study to include all this?
Okay.
That's my point.
Okay.
And, and the thing is, in my mind, the decision to build new or versus fixing, remodeling what's there hasn't been determined. The building that's there should have an engineered, look at it and see the value of, if the building has value. I mean, but that's immaterial, if that's
We're
what.
getting off a little bit. Can we, I guess, this Trilogy Consulting firm that you've engaged with, can you tell us a little bit about them?
Yeah, so I believe, I'm not super familiar with it, but I talked to Stan. I believe they did the impact fee studies in the mid to late 90s when we did have fire safety impact fees.
Here.
So, and I believe we used them as part of the comprehensive plan as well.
Correct.
Here in the township. So, the study will take 2 to 3 months, and then there's another like 1 to 2 months time frame for it to get brought up to the public and meetings and things like that. So it's not a right away.
Yeah, that's a big window.
You're looking at the end of the year before they even have a number that we could even look at possibly imposing as an impact fee.
And you're presenting it here just as informational, right? Because it's in your budget.
I guess I'm just, I feel like, I don't think we should, as a fire department, we should wait to do this study.
Agreed.
And I don't have money specifically set aside for this study, but I'm asking to be able to use money from the building repair line item to pay for this study.
What does that leave us with a balance of?
And we don't approve the budget at that level, so it's within I think it's within your right to do that, if I'm not mistaken, Joanne.
Right, cause you don't do a line item budget. You
Right,
do a-
so, I mean, the fact that you're advising, I think is great, thank you.
Yeah.
But I don't know that you need our consent.
Just a quick question, Kelvin, are you aware, and it's a hard question, of anything going down that you would need $6,000 for to be repairing in short order, that this would steal from this?
Not at this time. This has kind of always been for above and beyond improvements of the fire station. So the past couple of years, we used it for new garage doors, things like that. Did put a new service door in earlier this year.
Sure.
So we did use a little bit of that money. But
Usually
even with using the $6,500, there's still gonna be over $3,000 in that.
And Trilogy did say, if you guys wanted to do, impact study across, the town, it's $6,500 a subject. And then they said that they would do a 3-subject study for $11,000. So you'd get DPW, park, and the fire department for $11,000.
They did send me a sample of one of their recent studies they did. It was Menominee Falls, so I get it, different tax bracket, different area of the state. But their park impact fees are much higher than ours. So me personally, as a resident of this town, I think we should look at doing a study on everything, just because I don't think that they're in line with neighboring communities. Even Oconomowoc is imposing impact fee studies. It's just in the newspaper last month, so. And talking to Stan, most municipalities do have impact fees.
Well, and I talked with the building inspector just to kind of see, cause, when Calvin first started bringing all this up about like fire impact, cause I never dealt with a fire impact fee. And I talked to the building inspector to see, being that they work across the area of the state, it is something that they see in other municipalities. So other municipalities are, implementing these fire impact fees and park impact fees and, DPW fees, so.
I think now is a good time to do it, and Ben's looking at building a new building, the fire department's looking into building a new building.
So, knowing that it has to be used within a certain time frame for certain items, does it make more sense to look at this, not fire department, not DPW, not park and rec, but overall, so we can have more flexibility in its usage?
More as a package than separate.
I don't know, you start to separate it, pigeonhole or silo everything.
It should, but then it should be like a budget time thing.
I don't disagree, I'm just
I mean-
trying to think about that from a,
I mean, that's, from what Calvin's bringing up, he doesn't wanna wait till budget time.
well, no, the utilization, or, I'm sorry, the fee itself would just come in as a fee general.
No, you can't.
You can't do
It has to be specific.
Specific fire, specific DPW.
Yeah, specific part.
I will tell you, we did use the impact money in building the new pavilion in the park down here. The park money, impact money was used and utilized. The fire department money was not, nor was the highway. Any impact money was not used other than park in the past.
You're quiet down here at the end. Do you have anything to say?
Do you have any questions? I mean.
I'm waiting for
The
it.
discussion's appropriate. Obviously, you gotta use it for public facilities, and you gotta do a study, an assessment to determine if and what's appropriate for an expanding, community. And you need to do that in order to issue the impact fees, so it's up to you guys whether or not you wanna pursue that and pay the money for the study.
Do the other departments have resources?
That I'm not.
I don't know that Park and Rec has a line item for anything like
They
that.
don't have a line item that big to start the year.
Right.
So you wanna get the ball rolling early instead of waiting till next year?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Do we even need a motion if
We-
it's in,
we
if it's
don't
in, if it's in budget?
Well, I mean, cause it's not, I don't know. You, do they
Well-
need, I mean, it's not a specific item that was budgeted. So do they need to, like, they need to make a motion to hire a company, correct?
Yeah, I would prefer that for the record. I don't, where's the money coming from to pay for the study?
Building repair.
A building repair fund, so what they're doing is.
But that's gonna be for just a specific,
That would be just for the fire department.
that would be just for fire department. If you want the other ones, we've gotta figure out where the money's coming from.
So, Ben, what are your thoughts?
I'd be willing to do a study, but at the moment, I wouldn't have any, I don't know where I would pull extra money from to do a study.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Cause you've been on that committee, that subcommittee,
Yeah.
and you guys have talked about DPW fees, right?
Yeah,
Or did you do some research and just come up?
I have done the research as to how fast we would be getting to use and what, I'm not exactly sure what you use. Is it only for brick and mortar for DPW, is that as well?
Once the contract was let for our new, like, highway shop, then the impact fee would not apply to that. It has to be, the impact money has to be applied to the project, correct?
Yes.
So like, in Ben's case, it wouldn't do any good because there's no money built up and there would be no money to apply to the project. Okay, so, you know, there would be no benefit in that one.
Well, except that if there were a stair step or a.
Well, if there's a tier step,
to the
then there
project,
would be.
Then you could apply as you go.
Then you could apply as you go, that,
Just a thought that came by, since they would give us a discount if we, wrap 3 projects in there, could we ask them, be bold on this one here, could you give us the 3 project price on one thing, the fire department? We've worked with this group in the past, they've got money from us, let us take one step further and ask them. The worst scenario would be, no, I can't make that $5,000 or whatever the number is, you know what I mean? But why don't we consider that to see if they can help us along? And, pardon?
My suggestion, if we're looking at doing all 3, is maybe look somewhere else to pull the whole amount from and do all 3 at once. Maybe not, there might be some other item that hasn't been utilized.
well, the money could be taken from the contingency fund. I mean, we have the money, the object is, does it become valuable to spend the money for all these projects, or, because if you spend $11,000, you have to gain $11,000 back to break even, then now you start moving forward.
Yeah.
So it depends on how fast you wanna break ground on the new fire station. It depends how you tier the new highway shop, because this has to be money that's acquired in this account at the time you break ground. So, if, I don't know if you would have to take a calculator and sit down and see what your return would be, and.
Well, I think the study protects us, A, and B, it justifies it, and C, the return's gonna be there. I mean, we're talking about 11 grand. Impact fees are probably gonna be ranging in the 4 to 5 grand range, somewhere in there overall, would be my guess, again, based on what I've read and looked at research in other communities. If I combine all the fees, impact fees, 4, 5, 6 grand, that's 2.
On one house?
One building, yeah.
It makes
Wow.
more sense to combine them all than to set.
Now, that's everything,
shop.
that's fire, that's everything, and I'm not saying that's where we're going, but I'm saying that if I use that as a guide, we're in the black, 2 properties.
Well, I'm sure glad I own my house.
So,
I mean, somewhere.
So can we make a motion to pull out of the contingency fund right now, or do we have to wait till a
Yes.
specific
No, I
budget?
think we
Okay,
do.
I'll make a motion that we do the impact fees on fire department, DPW, and Parks and Rec out of the contingency fund with
Total amount 11 grand.
Yep, to the amount of 11 grand with Trilogy Consulting LLC.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? All those in favor, signal by aye.
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 Opposed? Aye. I just, you know, earlier today, we talked about ambulance imposing more taxes. You talk, I mean, every day we turn around about adding more costs. Somewhere it's gotta stop, but,
But these aren't
Well-
voted on, but
We'll get it back.
okay.
these aren't costs that our residents are gonna bear. It's gonna be the builder and subsequently whoever buys that property.
Well, the new resident's gonna pay.
Right.
Okay, discussion and possible action regarding purchasing a de-icing sprayer in the amount of $13,499. That was included in the 2026 budget. So it was already approved at budget time. It's just a formality to approve purchasing it.
I make a motion to approve the,
Had this already, yeah.
de-icer for $13,499, no cents.
I second it.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signal by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Discussion and possible action regarding request from Ketchner or Kellermeister Beverage LLC, Chad R. Osterman for a producer full-service retail sales application to hold a beer garden event at Fireman's Park, August 1st, 2026, 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. on October 17th, 2026. Oh,
Yeah, it's a.
and another one,
Yep.
October 17th, from 4 to 8 p.m. Trunk or treat event in conjunction with the Exonia Bank.
So it's the same retailer, that did the beer garden in, May, at the end of May. So he's teaming up with, A. Bodette, Services and Exonia Bank again for 2 more, events.
Which is Town and Country Day.
No,
that's
no,
the
no,
next one.
that's a different one.
Are they the ones that did the last one that
Yes.
we just came off of?
Yep.
Is this the same event that that you were talking about? What's I did not understand the like the root cause concern of. Is
We
it just
really
the
can't get into
transparency?
that because that's not on the agenda. What she had is just for comment. So we can't really tie that in at this moment. I mean, this,
Okay, I mean, we're talking about the event, and it's.
Well,
it's-
but-
It's like, well, what?
okay,
is the-
this
what's
event
the
has
point
to
if we're gonna
stand
vote on
alone.
the event, and there's some type of like funding problem, I'm curious what it is.
This event is not tied to the playground equipment,
No.
committee at all. This is, they're doing their own thing.
This is their second event they wanna do.
well, this has to
It's the
stand
first
alone.
one.
Right now, her discussion is to be taken up at a later date.
Okay.
Yeah. But in fact, the proceeds will go for the playground, from this.
That's what we're told, yeah, is that they are gonna donate proceeds, some of the proceeds, all the proceeds, I'm not sure.
Uh-huh.
But they are doing this event to donate proceeds to the playground equipment fund.
Okay. Because if it's not going to that, I wouldn't even wanna approve it, that's my understanding. It will go to the playground.
That's what
Equipment.
they're
Yeah,
advertising.
okay, all right.
And this is the beer garden and the trunk or treat, correct?
Correct.
I make a
What's-
motion to approve the resale, or the retail sales application for the beer garden and the trunk or treat.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signal by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Discussion and possible action regarding the request from Exonia Volunteer Firemen's Association for a temporary Class B retailer's license for Town and Country Days, August 14th to the 17th. They come by in front of us every year. They've been successful, no complaints. Well, my recommendation, I make a motion that we grant it.
I second it.
May I have a second on the motion? Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signal by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Discussion and possible action regarding special event application from Exonia Firemen's Volunteer Association for a parade on August 17th at 11 p.m. Again, it's highly attended, never no complaint. I make a motion that.
Second.
Before you make a motion,
I see the dates are wrong.
they're wrong?
I was gonna say, it can't be the 17th.
You must have grabbed last year, so it's the.
Date's wrong?
It was 16.
16th?
Yeah, I was gonna
So
say.
that'll have to come back, because it's got the wrong date. So we'll have to bring that back to the next
Can we
meeting.
just do clerical?
Yeah, we're
Right
just gonna,
Right opposite clerical error?
it's gonna have to get added to your special meeting,
Okay,
because it's the wrong date,
And,
right? Am I wrong, or,
I think if you make it clear in the record, you can just amend the dates that you're
Right.
approving.
okay,
Just amend it.
because
Yeah,
Stan,
at this
Stan would
minute.
make us
Yeah.
redo it, so,
Yeah.
that's why I'm, okay, that's fine.
you got errors and omissions, right?
Yeah.
We can do that.
All right,
It's just a clerical error.
You make your motion?
I made a motion,
Okay, I make a motion, but we correct the date to August 16th.
and then I make a motion that we grant the permission.
Second.
okay, so you made a motion to correct the date?
Mm-hmm.
Who seconded it?
I will.
Okay,
Or no, that's right. Oh, yeah, this is, so this one's right. For some reason you have last year's application too, Joanne. You do have the.
well, these are what were given to me, so,
Sorry.
Okay, well,
okay, then Brian, you
got-
made a motion to approve it?
yeah, give them permit.
Okay, did somebody second that?
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, motion carries. Consider possible action on hiring Ryan Tobin for for paid on-call volunteer for Exonia EMS.
You're on, Calvin.
Yeah, we did a peer review with Ryan Tobin, so we're just looking for approval from the town board to bring him on pending his, background check and drug test.
And you checked everything out at your end?
Yep.
Okay, I make a motion to approve, Ryan Tobin for paid on-call volunteer for the Exonia EMS.
Second.
I have a motion, and a second. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, say by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Okay, discussion and possible action regarding appointing Aaron Martinez to the Park and Recreation Commission. Or Martinez?
Is anybody familiar with this person? Do you-
She's my neighbor.
Okay.
I would say I move to appoint.
Second.
Approve appoint.
Second.
I have a
You didn't see Dave.
A motion and a second, is there any other discussion?
What does that bring the, computers on your Park and Rec, how many people are on there now?
That would be 6, yeah.
Back up to 6? Okay, I think it's great.
All those in favor, say by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Discussion and possible action regarding canceling or moving the August town board meeting. Joanne?
Yep, so the town board meeting is on August 10th, which is the night before the August 11th election, and this room will be all, set up for the election the next morning. So I would appreciate if we could move the August meeting to maybe August 17th, which is the Monday.
Move the August 2026 town board meeting from August the 10th to August 17th.
I won't be real popular.
Why?
It's my anniversary.
Oh, no.
I can take her Sunday. We'll just change.
Well, otherwise, pick a different day.
Bring her down to the board meeting.
You wanna do it on Tuesday instead?
No, we'll just, no.
Okay. Do we have a second?
That's why I knew the parade date was wrong.
Second.
Because last year, the parade was on my anniversary.
What is the 17th?
I have a motion and a second
Monday.
Monday?
for the meeting on August 17th. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, fine.
7 p.m.?
17th,
Yeah.
7 o'clock. Okay, discussion and possible action regarding appointing Megan Schultz as an election worker for the 2006-2007 election cycle.
What is that?
That's 1,000 years ago. 2,000 years ago.
I read it the way it
Yeah.
was put down there.
I say we need to make a correction, so
Yes, make the
let's first get this correction to
2020.
2026 and
2027.
2027.
God.
You also, I think, spelled her name wrong. Lizzie, not an S.
No S at the end?
It's a Z instead of
Schultz,
an S.
Z.
Z
Oh my
at the end?
God.
Ah, okay.
That's what I get for
You
having
won't
to
tell
make all
Megan.
these changes at the last second. I'm
It's
so-
getting late. We've had 2 hours.
I make a motion to approve and accept and appoint Megan Schultz with a Z
Thank you.
for an election worker for the 2026, 2027
Got you too.
election cycle. I'm getting tongue-tied here.
Second.
Thank you.
I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signal by aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Staff updates. Joanne?
I'm gonna keep it short and simple. So back behind me, it's kind of a little mess. We had to move it this weekend, because we had a rental, but that's our Badger books. So, it's a keyboard, a mouse, and a screen with a little box printer there. So we did have training with our election workers this last week. We're gonna, open it up so that any of the poll workers can come in and use it, so that they can familiarize themselves and get comfortable with it up until the August election, but it will be up and running come August 11 for the election. It'll be electronic poll books. So it's just a screen, they type in your name, it comes up, and, and then they turn the screen, you sign, and it shoots out a little number for you out of the little box, the printer box, and you move on to go get your ballot. And then you vote. So just kinda wanted to point that out, that it's here and we're moving forward with getting trained on it.
And you're gonna have it run as a pilot for the meeting, for the upcoming election? Just the one piece?
Nope, we're gonna have all 4 of them set up.
You are?
We are, yeah, there's no halfway
You
with it.
can't do partials,
Yeah,
okay.
no, it's either, it's on or it's off, so
Okay.
we're gonna aim for working with them.
Pardon me?
It'll be on.
They will be on and they will be working.
It'll be great.
That's right.
It'll work, it'll be
Positive.
wonderful.
Got it.
Okay.
Very excited over here.
I was gonna say.
Is that it?
Nervous, a
Yeah,
lot of nervous
that's-
energy.
Okay, Ben, Public Works Superintendent?
Keep it short, the road work is done, all paving, we're gonna be doing the shouldering work. We did have interviews for the current open crewman position. We have extended an offer, we're waiting to hear back, but, so that'll be coming forth. And unless there's any questions, we're continuing working on road work and moving forward.
I just got one simple one, Call Park, we probably should do something with that sticking up in the river there, it's gonna be a liability
Yep.
down the road. If we take it out, what's happening in the wintertime, you're gonna be chopping ice, probably should just get it fixed.
You're talking about
Call Park,
Yeah, I have.
yeah, fire access thing is sticking up out of the river.
We plan was just cut it off. We'll just take it off. It's not used hardly ever. It hasn't been used in years because it's been like that for a long time.
So that wouldn't be your source of water if you need it in the winter.
By the time getting our engine there, it's just gonna be just as fast to go to the LNG plant.
Not even if the fire close by.
And cut a hole in the ice too, just as fast.
Let me ask you this question, what needs to be done to fix it? It's PVC pipe, right?
The problem is,
Sewer pipe?
when the boats launch there, they hit it every time.
Okay, so where's it broke, at the 90?
It's broken a couple different, it's broke off years ago, so there's no,
Okay.
strainer on the end of it anymore. And then with debris and boats launching and things like that, it gets caught with debris all the time. We used to have a hydrant up here on, by Bratz's too, and we took that, ended up taking that one out as well, because the same thing happened. Once the river floods, the trees hook it, and then it gets torn up.
Do we have to have it that long? It's pretty long.
Well, now in drought time, you need it that long, so you can still have power.
We're really not supposed to be, this is off the agenda, this isn't an
Well,
agenda
it just
item.
needs to be fixed, liability for the town.
Well, I know, but it's just for
Just-
discussion.
Just need to get it
We'll
taken
take
care
it
of.
out.
Yep. We'll get together on it.
Is that it, Ben?
That's all I have.
Okay, fire and EMS, Chief Sauer.
Yeah, so June, was another busy month for us. We ran 33 calls, 19 of which were Monday through Friday, 6 AM to 6 PM. We're at 198 calls, at the end of June, so that's a 7.61% increase over last year. Our third full-timer started today, so we're gonna run, with him. He'll be running with us on this 10-hour shifts for the next month and a half or so, and then we'll switch to 12-hour shifts, 6 AM to 6 PM, Monday through Friday.
Good. Is that it?
Yep, that's it.
Utility?
Jack was touching on this before, everything's going well up there, we're gonna continue to haul out sludge, that we're gonna have to have a discussion on that probably next month, as our sludge hauling is going to have to increase, because we need to change pump out further. So, we're working on, with Katie United to get it pumped out more. Other than that, everything's been working well, these weeks.
That's it? Joanne, upcoming meetings.
Plan Commission meeting July 28th at 7 PM. Exonia Fire Department Officers meeting August 5th at 6:30. Park and Rec meeting August 3rd at 5. The primary election will be August 11th, 7 AM to 8 PM. And then, of course, the town board meeting, I didn't know that date and time, but it will be August 17th at 7 PM.
Okay. Don't wave.
Okay, the next step, let's adjourn.
Are you making the motion?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor, say by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned. Waves at me.
Maybe.
He waves at me. What am I supposed to do with a wave?
Call them up and get your name on it.
Okay, I looked at their website to try to sign up and.
You need help.
Yeah, it wasn't like super easy to.
They will initially send you a name and a password.
Yeah, that is coming up this week, right?
And then,
I was gonna bring it up.
go ahead, take this.
Okay, I'm not gonna be available, I'm out of town, on that date. But, I went to the last one.
Pass a message.
Like I snuck in.
I'm just filling it for him.
So, are you getting stuff from these guys?
I'm gonna, it's on my list of things I do.
Here, keep it.
Thank you.
I'm not going either.
So, we got a letter, I forgot to, it was buried underneath this stuff. Jefferson County is holding, a meeting, they're gonna talk about putting a moratorium on for the, data centers.
Okay.
So
okay,
I
okay.
think,
Yep. Got it.
they're gonna be holding these meetings.
So, should have we talked about that today?
Well, it's not on the agenda, so you couldn't, but,
Yeah,
I thought Bruce was gonna bring it up and he
Okay,
did it,
got
so I
it.
was kinda shocked.
Doing that. Great.
I'll take a picture.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I'll email it out to you guys.
Okay.
too.
Can you email that to me also,
Yep.
please?
Yep, I can do that.
I also have homework.
Awesome, good, cause I gotta check that for you. I'm like, I'm not paying.
Thank you.
Everything except I
Yeah,
don't know
good to see
when
you.
my start of employment date was.
Hey, good seeing you again.
Take care of a couple things. And I also didn't bring a
One
voided
at,
check.
Seriously excited.
It's, I mean, if it works, it goes through, I have a check for you, so don't walk away.
Okay, I've been getting mail to my